7:30. We kind of late, but we here. Mhm. Yeah. Y'all know what it is. It's TK the Poet. You already know it, so you ain't got to quote it. If I spoke it, you already know what that means. Yeah, I wrote it. We're going live in effect. I don't know what happened to visual. Can you see us, Tiffany?
Well, not right now. I did it first, but now it's a black screen.
Oh, it's a black screen. Hold on. Let me get this right. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Live in effect, y'all. Little camera issue. But yeah, let me go ahead and play the intro for y'all while we wait for the people to come in. We here, we're here. So we here. We have beautifully Nana, the head judge of the competition. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Nana.
I mean, you kind of just did that.
Well, go ahead. Let them know who you are and what you about and what you do.
I mean, we all know I'm the head judge for tonight. Normally, I am a makeup artist, a hairstylist, a video creator, content creator, however you guys want to put it. I'm just generally beautifully Nana. What you see is what you get. As you already know, he introduced me. But I guess who else we got in the building? Miss Tiffany, our other judge. How about you introduce yourself? We're going to pass along as all the judges come in.
Okay, well, it's your girl, Tiffany, aka Miss Tiffy Bay to you. This is my second time being a judge for the tournament. I'm really excited. Can't wait to get it going. I can't wait to hear how these other judges are going to respond.
Man, definitely. Was it tough for you as it was for me? Because I'm telling you, they came with the A game. Nobody, it was tough. I'm not going to lie. It was definitely tough for me being new into this. I know this is your second round, but how was it from the first round to this round of the people that entered into the competition? What did you think the difference was? Did they come harder?
Oh, most definitely. They came harder. You can definitely tell the difference between the first timers and the people who have been here before. And
yeah.
And some people were first timers, but you can tell they did their research.
Yeah.
Okay, we got the people pouring in here. They here for the announcement. I got another judge coming up here, Mr. Eric Curry. Another judge.
Look,
let's
y'all,
get it going.
I can't see, so I'm just gonna have to just come on with it so I can see all y'all.
Hey, what's going on, Eric Curry?
Hey man, what's up, man? How y'all doing?
Doing great. The people are waiting. We are here. The first round is over with. We are here. Hey, was it tough for you?
It was extremely tough. So I read through each poem about 3 times, each of those, and I was the last one to submit my scores. It's for all the people who were wondering who was the last judge to submit their scores, because I took my time with everything.
Okay.
I made sure I didn't miss anything. So everything that I submitted, it was legit.
Man, it seems like we're gonna have a good session today because it's a lot to talk about. We have 10 poets in this tournament. Man, 2 must go. 2 must go. So,
I mean, Eric, like you did say that you were the last one to enter your scores in. Like, why you felt like that you were the last one? I mean, what was it really pulling at? Like, what were you getting out of it?
So I read through everything that was posted yesterday, and then I went and slept on it because I didn't want to kind of give my scores based off of my initial reaction to everything, and then I went back and read it earlier today, and kind of read through and broke it down and spent my time because some of the stuff there was some wordplay going on, and I
Yeah.
wanted to kind of research and see where they were coming from, and then I saw where some people were coming from. So if you just read it one time, you may not have understood exactly what they were saying.
Great.
But I
Great.
took my time to really kind of go through and say, okay, I see where you're going with this.
Yeah.
I see the entendres, and I see there was some entendres that went about 4 layers deep. So it was some really good poems that were submitted, and some people put their heart into some of these poems, and some people told their story about
Yeah.
what they
Yeah.
actually went through. So talking about the originality, it doesn't get any more original than telling what you actually went through in your poem.
Hey.
So it was some real stuff in those poems, and I wanted to make sure I took my time with it.
Okay. Okay. Miss Tiffany, how did you? I mean, since we didn't get your spill on it beforehand, I mean, how did you take them as you were reading them? I mean, how were you feeling?
As I was reading them, I kind of had to do what Eric did because when I first started posting my scores, I realized like, oh crap, I'm doing it wrong. So I was like, okay, breathe, take a
Yeah.
step back, let's try this again. And I kind of did what Eric did. I read the poems, one, two. Some of them I had to read like 4 or 5 times.
Definitely.
Um, I definitely I wasn't one of the last judges, of course, but it did take me a minute to start posting my responses. I don't think I posted mine until almost noon,
Great.
1 o'clock.
Yeah, it was.
It
Yeah,
was
about around that time. Yeah, you did. Again, like she said, she was one of the first to start off, and then she came back. I'm gonna say I was the first to enter mines. But again, as they said as well, like I really had to go back as they were coming in. I mean, I'm gonna shout out to our poets because they were definitely a lot of put them in before the deadline. Like I think we had one that was trailing towards the end, but everybody else was putting them in there. So I definitely was reading them as they were coming in and being submitted to us. So I went back, and like you guys said, we had to read over them again and kind of just relate and come back. But I did honestly give my scores how I felt in my heart, and I think each and every one of us
Mhm.
did. Me being the head judge looking at it, I honestly feel like none of us were the same at all. Everybody felt totally different ways. Like our judging was nowhere the same. Like everybody felt these poems differently. I think to Mr. Eric, I love Heart over there. He definitely was our care bearer of all this. So I'm gonna give him that. He definitely got that heart on his sleeve, and that's
Yeah.
our care bear judge. So who are we waiting on?
Oh, we were waiting on Foodie Betty, but if she's not, we go ahead and so we have
We
our
definitely,
notes.
I do have her
We have
notes,
our notes
so
in
I
front.
don't think she's coming. I think she did give us her notes, but shout out to her. And I definitely will read them as well. Are we ready to get started, judges?
Yes.
Or y'all want to talk about something
Ready.
else? Or was anything else we want to hit on, or we just gonna dive in it?
Let's dive in it. We
Uh,
ready. We are
Let's
here.
go. Let's
The
go.
first round.
Okay.
Champion
Okay.
fortune like we are here.
So, guys, this is how we decided to do it. As you guys entered in your poems, we rated them as they came in. We did not take them out of order. We took them as you guys sent them in to us. So, the first person that submitted their poem into us was Exclusive. For Exclusive, are we just going to say what we each person rated, and then we can tell why?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go by that way.
yes.
So, for me, oh shoot, y'all, I'm on too many things. See, he wouldn't let me get my life together. I'm sorry. I'm so out of order.
Exclusive.
Yes. Sorry, guys.
Shout out to exclusive. Not exclusive vodka, but exclusive. Shout out to you.
Okay, for me, Miss Exclusive, what I rated you in all categories. Your originality, I gave you a 5. For your wittiness, I gave you a 5. For your, you don't want to do that?
No, you're
Oh,
right.
for your relatability, I gave you a 5. For your lyrical ability, I gave you a 4. For your substance, I gave you a 4. For your total score from me, I gave you a 23.
23. That's kind of high. Okay.
Mr. Eric, you want to go next?
Sure. Let me get down to what my scores were. So for exclusive, for originality, I gave a 4 for wittiness. I gave a 4 for relatability. I gave a 5 for lyrical ability. I gave a 4 for substance. I gave a 4 for a total score of 21. I thought it was for the first poem. I thought coming right out the gate, um, before everybody else dropping that poem, it was solid. It was a really solid poem.
Miss Tiffany.
Yes, yes.
Okay, what did you score,
All
Miss
right.
Exclusive?
All right. So for me, originality, wittiness, I gave a 5. For relatability, I gave a 5. Lyrical ability, I gave a 5. And substance, I gave a 5 as well. So for me, she received a total of 25 points.
Okay, let me also clarify that I didn't before. The scores that you are able to receive in these categories are 1 through 5, 5 being the most points that you can receive. So a total perfect score is 25. Now, for Miss Foodie Batty, I do have hers. For Miss Exclusive, from her, she did rate your originality as a 5. She rated your wittiness as a 5. She rated your relatability as a 5, your lyrical ability as a 5, and your substance as a 5, with a total score of 25. I didn't have any feedback. She did not give me feedback on your poem, so I guess it speaks for itself. You got a perfect score from her. Now, if we do add all those together, hold on, guys. I'm sorry. Again, he didn't let me get my life together. Exclusive, your total score from all 4 judges is a 94. Next on our list that came into us was A Poet, a Scar. So for me, sorry guys, I'm reading between 2 judges. So for me, I rated your originality as a 3, your wittiness as a 2, your relatability was a 3, your lyric ability was a 3, your substance was a 2. Your total score for me was a 13. Mr. Eric?
So for Port Scar, for originality, I gave a 4. For wittiness, I gave a 3. For relatability, I gave a 4. For lyrical ability, I gave a 3. For substance, I gave a 4. For a total score of 18.
All right. Did we lose Miss Tiffany or is she still here?
I'm still here. Can y'all hear me?
Okay, so she's coming back. Okay, here she goes. So what did you get for Miss A Poet, a Scar?
All right, for a poet, I'm sorry, how do you pronounce that? A poet scar?
Yeah.
A poet scar. Okay, so for her originality, I gave a 3. For her wittiness, I gave a 2. Relatability, I gave a 2. Lyrical ability, I gave a 2. And substance, I gave a 2.
Okay, do you want to talk about why you gave her what you gave her?
We
no,
can.
you good? Okay, I mean, if not, I do have Miss Foodie Batty. She did give us a response, so I can read hers as well if you don't.
I honestly, I felt like it was lacking a little bit of pain. Like I couldn't feel it as far as her lyrics. I mean, words have meaning, guys. And I felt like, oh, I don't want to say this, but I felt like it was kind of mediocre.
Okay.
Like it didn't touch me the way I needed to be touched. Yes, I felt a little something, but it's almost like, yes, she felt pain once, but that pain isn't fresh.
Yeah, like it was past. Got it.
Yes,
Got it.
yes.
Got it. Definitely. And again, guys, these are just our true the way we scored. No shots to anybody. We loved everything. So please don't take it any kind of way. So from Miss Foodie Batty, she rated your originality as a 5. She gave your wittiness as a 3, your relatability as a 5, your lyrical ability as a 3, your substance as a 13. And your total score from her was a 19. She said, your poem was good, but I would like to see that if you use your vocabulary more. I saw a lot of repetition, which is fine, but it could have been evaluated or taken to a higher level in your poem. She kills me with the analogy of tears and from lowered lashes. So she definitely loved that little quote that you had in there. And I mean, pretty much backdooring off of Miss Tiffany, like if we would have felt it just a little bit more, explain on a little bit more. You gave us a piece of you, but we felt like we could have got a little more out of it. So from all 4 poets, your total score was 61. Great job.
So you mind if I
So Eric,
throw something in there real quick for
I
Scar?
did do Eric. Yes, sir.
So some of the comments that I have for this particular poem, when I was reading this poem and I got to the end, this is one of those poems that I went back and reread, and I came to the conclusion that this was more of a performance poem that requires you to be in front of people performing it because of the other things that it requires to make people feel what you're saying. And I didn't get these words the way that she would probably deliver them. And I think that goes back to this probably wasn't one of the poems that you would want to submit for the written ones, but one that you would have saved to actually perform because it would have been more impactful with this poem. I thought it was a good poem. I just think that it wasn't the one that she should have submitted for this round.
All right. Well, that's from our judge. I mean, so for the next person, we're gonna move on. Is Miss Yolanda? But it's always I left her from Nicole. Okay, Miss Yolanda Nicole. So for Miss Yolanda Nicole, I rated her. Originality was a 3. Her wittiness was a 2. Relatability was a 2. Lyricability was a 2. Substance was a 2. Total score for me was a 12. And this is one that I really want to talk about more. And it's almost going back to what Eric just said. For me, I think this would have been a performance poem. It was very hard for me to follow on paper. I was getting lost. It was just very hard for me to follow. And I think that sometimes people write how they speak or how they're going to deliver it. And I think just in this instance, that's how it was written, how you may deliver it. And it would have been a better, just one that you should have did a showpiece poem for me, not just submitting this as writing because it was very hard for me to follow. Mr. Eric?
And I agree with the sentiments that you provided for this particular poem as well. So for Yolanda Nicole, for originality, I gave a 5. For wittiness, I gave a 4. For relatability, I gave a 4. Lyrical ability, I gave a 4. Substance, a 4 for a total score of 21. And when I was reading the poem, I was like, oh yeah, this is definitely one of those snap poems. Like if we in the spot and she get in front of the mic and she
Yeah.
kill it, I'm snapping, right? But if I'm reading it, I'm like, ah man, yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought that she did a good job with this particular poem, which is one of the reasons why I couldn't take away from her originality. I felt like this was one of those poems when she speaks it, man, it really shuts the house down. So
All right. Miss Tiffany?
Okay. For Miss Yolanda, I have originality a 3. Wittiness, I gave a 2. Relatability, I gave a 1. Lyric ability, I gave a 1. And substance, I gave a 2. And I do agree with you guys that, don't get me wrong, it was a very good poem, but this is a poem that probably should have been submitted for the live. This was one of the poems, I know I told you guys that some poems required me to read 3, sometimes 4 times. And Miss Yolanda was one of those poems I had to reread because I kept getting lost in it as far as like her wordplay. When you submit a poem like this, where it's just strictly written, you really have to be, you have to be very descriptive, and paint that story and paint it so well to where I'm actually this person that you are talking about. Like I'm actually in that room. I'm actually feeling that pain. And that's where I felt like it lacked. So that's why.
Okay. So for Miss Foodie Batty, Miss Yolanda, she rated your originality as a 5, your wittiness as a 2, your relatability as a 1, your lyrical ability as a 1, and your substance as a 1, with your total score from her being a 10. She said, I had a really hard time reading through this one. One line to the next doesn't make a lot of sense, and I can't piece the entire poem together coherently. Also, I think that line then is best not used here. That came from her. And so for your total score, Yolanda, from all four judges, it was 51. So next that we have up for submission was Miss Nikki Royale. Miss Nikki, I gave you on your originality a 5. Your wittiness, I gave you a 4. Your relatability, I gave you a 5. Your lyrical ability, I gave you a 5. For your substance, I gave you a 4. For your total score for me, I gave you a 23. I really enjoyed this poem. I could relate to it very well. I thought it was very witty for me. On paper, I could follow. So that's why I scored her what I scored her. Mr. Eric?
So for Nikki Royale, for originality, I gave a 4. For wittiness, I gave a 5. Relatability, I gave a 5. Lyrical ability, I gave a 5. And substance, I gave a 5 for a total score of 24. And I went back and forth on the originality piece because this poem was pretty dope. It was really good.
Good. Miss Tiffany?
All right. For Miss Nikki Royale, originality, I gave a 5. Wittiness, I gave a 5. Relatability, I gave a 5. Lyrical ability, I also gave a 5. And substance, I also gave a 5. So she received a perfect score from me of 25.
All right, all right.
All to her nice.
Okay. So for Miss Foodie Batty, Miss Nikki, she rated your originality a 5, your wittiness a 2, your relatability a 4, your lyrical ability as a 3, and your substance as a 13. Total score was a 17. Looking for a more cohesive read, but I really enjoyed the message. I think the Mia Moore is misplaced, but a huge fan of the rhyming on and off. So Miss Nikki Royale, total score from all four judges was an 89.
Oh,
All right.
that was a close one.
That was. I'm sorry. I got out of place, judges, and that was on me. So we do have to go back up one to Miss Heidi. So for Miss Heidi, originality, I gave you a 3. For your relatability, I gave you a 4. For your lyrical ability, I gave you a 3. For your substance, I gave you a 3. Total score was a 17. Now, Miss Heidi, I did love this poem. And the best way I can say, to me, it was very safe. It was very safe. It was very your word, the rhyming was great. It was almost like Miss Tiffany said with the last one. It was kind of like a past love. Like you gave me something about it, but we didn't go into about it. It was just kind of the love off the surface of the love, like almost like what I wanted to hear. Not like let's get a little nitty gritty. It was very neat, very neat. But it was very enjoyable. I'm not gonna lie. It read great on paper. It flowed very well together. And it was very enjoyable for me. Miss.
Oh, 1 second. I have some issues with me. A laptop here.
Okay. You want to go to Miss Tiffany and then come back?
Yeah, come back to me.
Okay, Miss Tiffany, you ready?
Okay, yes, I'm ready. For Heidi, originality, I gave a 4. Wittiness, I gave a 3. Relatability, I gave a 4. Lyrical ability, I gave a 4. And substance, I also gave a 4. Total score of 19.
Did you want to elaborate on it?
Yeah. I do feel like it was good work, but this is not her best work. Like you said, she did play it safe, and Heidi has been a part of the competition before. So yes, I loved the poem, but I was a little bit unsatisfied because I've seen her and when she went live, and when she put it down on paper. I can also tell this was a past love, meaning yes, this hurt, but you've healed from this.
Yeah.
And when you talk about a past love, you have to remember it all. The hurt, the pain. How did that make you feel? Was there some type of guilt? Did you blame yourself? And I felt like that was missing.
Okay. So while we're waiting on Mr. Eric, I'm about like him. My devices are timed out. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I am going to tell the scores for Miss Foodie Batty. Miss Heidi, she rated your originality a 3, your wittiness a 1, your relatability a 1, your lyrical ability a 1, your substance was a 1. Your total score was a 7. She says all the poems are about love. What is the biggest picture of what you're writing about love for? What are you trying to express through love? So she did have those questions for you, and that is what it was. So, Mr. Eric, are we ready?
Yeah, we finally got it going. All right. So
Okay.
for
Let's go.
Miss Heidi, I gave originality, I gave a 4. For wittiness, I gave a 3. For relatability, I gave a 5. For lyrical ability, I gave a 4. For substance, I gave a 4. And then for total score, I gave a 20. I felt this poem, um, it did have a sense of safeness as it pertains to what we're relating to, as it pertains to not really digging into some really depth of where she could possibly take this poem. But I felt like what she wanted to accomplish as it pertains to expressing her view of love and what she encountered as it pertains to it, I felt she nailed it on that. So that's why I gave her the score I gave her.
Okay. Miss Heidi, your total score from all 4 judges was a 63. So, good job, good job. We're going to move on to the next poet was The Don. For The Don, I gave you the score. Your originality was a 4. Your wittiness was a 4. Your relatability was a 4. Your lyrical ability was a 3. Your substance was a 4. Total score was a 19. Miss Don, I just got to be real. Very good read. Again, submitting something on paper, and let's be honest, it was too long for me. I definitely had to break it up and come back. When it was first submitted to me, I honestly thought it was 3 poems. I definitely wish we could have condensed it a little bit just for being a on paper read. And sometimes people lose interest kind of quickly as an on paper read. Some people don't. That definitely to me could have been a better performance because I know your performance. I've been there. You have showcased it. So that would have been just a hit on performance. And I know you would have delivered it offhand. But as a paper for us judges, it was a little long for me. Mr. Eric?
So for the Dawn originality, I gave a 5. For wittiness, I gave a 5. For relatability, I gave a 5. For lyrical ability, I gave a 5. For substance, I gave a 5.
All right,
For a
all
total
right.
score of a 25. Now I gotta explain this.
Talk to her nice. Let's go.
So when I went to break this poem down, because it was 3 pages, when I went to break it down, I saw what she did and the work that she put into this poem. She didn't write this poem overnight.
Oh no.
And when we got towards the end of that poem, uh, I felt I felt like I got hit by a bus of Jason's lyric, where she says, "When the sun next leaves the footprints across the sky." That's the feeling that it gave me. And then when I looked and I was reading the poem and I was getting towards the end, I realized why she put the image with the poem that she did, and the depth and the thought that she put into where she was taking us. And then I went back and reread it, and I realized she was taking us on a journey, and she was trying to express something about herself in the poem. And I thought she did an amazing job of doing that.
Fire.
Okay. Snaps, Miss Dawn.
Let's go.
So for Miss Foodie Betty, Miss Dawn, your total scores, or your scores were for her, were originality was a 5, your wittiness was a 3, your relatability was a 4, your lyrical ability was a 3, your substance was a 3, your total score was an 18. She said, I loved how the story was told through personal memories. The message fades and the relatability becomes distant on the 2nd and 3rd pages. So for Miss Dawn, your total score from all 4 judges was an 85. All right.
Let's go.
Good job. Our next point was...
Got my scores.
Oh, you didn't? I'm so sorry. Look, I'm so sorry. Look, Miss Tiffany, go ahead. I do apologize. Okay, sorry.
I didn't want to interrupt. I said, well,
no, you should have. Because I gave out a score, so I'm sorry. So you know it had to be good, Miss Dawn. Go ahead.
With Done, originality, I gave a 4. Wittiness, I gave a 5. Relatability, I gave a 5. Lyrical ability, excuse me, I gave a 4. And substance, I gave a 5. Total score for me was a 23. But as you can hear, she really scored up there in them 80s.
Total score from all judges was an 85, Miss Don. I'm sorry. Um, Zoe Zion, right? Is that how we say it? Okay. That so for her poem, I rated her originality was a 5. Her wittiness was a 2. Her relatability was a 5 for me. Her lyric ability was a 3. Her substance was a guys, that is not even me. Okay, this was Miss Foodie Batty. Her substance was a 3 for her, and a total score for Miss Foodie Batty was an 18. She said the poem started off really strong for her, but then halfway through it became kind of bookish. It read after reading instead of line to line, but definitely relatable AF. So that was from Miss Foodie Batty. Okay, well, I didn't want to. Never mind. So for me, I rated you as originality a 4. Your wittiness was a 3. Your relatability was a 3. Your lyrical ability was a 3. Your substance was a 4. And my total score was a 17. Again, I really related to it. I loved how it read. Again, it kind of got a little muddy towards the end for me, but it related very well. I definitely could follow the messages that you had in it where you were trying to say relating, especially as a woman. So I loved it, and kudos to you for that because you can definitely feel your pain and your ups and downs and what you have been through. Mr. Eric?
So for Miss Zion, for originality, I gave a 4. And I was kind of battling back and forth from giving a 5 for this one. I'm going to explain why here in a second. Wittiness, I gave a 4. Relatability, I gave a 4. For lyrical ability, I gave a 3. For substance, I gave a 4. And then a total score of a 19. So I read this poem several times. And on the last time I read this poem, I came to the conclusion that this was a letter she wrote herself.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And it got, and there are parts of this poem that may not have been that important to other people, but it to her it was important because of the pain that she went through, and she was expressing a lot of things on paper that she never got a chance to say to the actual person that caused the pain, this traumatic pain. And I think that um, the the elements of this competition when we're judging on these categories, they some of them weren't hit like they were supposed to be because it wasn't designed for this competition. This poem was designed as a letter she wrote herself. This was not meant for this competition. But if we were just talking about her expressing her pain, I thought that, man, it's relatable to a lot of people, not just women, who've gone through some stuff, and having an opportunity to really say how you felt. She did that.
Miss Tiffany?
Okay. For Miss Zion, originality, I gave a 3. Wittiness, I gave a 3. Relatability, I gave a 3. Uh, Lyrical ability, I gave a 3. Substance, I gave a 4. Total score for me was a 16. Um, I did like this poem in the beginning, but as we stressed throughout this competition, when you go in and go hard, you cannot let up on the gas. And I felt like this was that car that you tried to make it to work, but it hit that poop 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 and it broke down. Because towards the end, I was like, "Oh well, crap, we ran out of gas." Like you got me to that point to where mentally I was ready to climax, but I didn't hit my peak, and that's where I think the work needs to be done.
So Miss Zion, total scores from all 4 judges was a 70. Shout out to you. So next up was Mr. Rudy Bradley.
Let's go, Rudy.
So for me, Mr. Rudy, I gave your originality was a 3. I gave your wittiness a 3. Your relatability was a 3. Your lyrical ability was a 4, and your substance was a 4. Total score for me was a 14. Mr. Rudy, I loved your poem. I love the flow of it. I love the way it read on paper. But if I have to totally be honest with you, it was another one of these. You played it safe for me. Um, these people and or everybody that submitted stuff, they went hard. But for me, I'm not gonna say for any other judge. Just for me, um, I think, and I've heard some of your stuff. I expected a little bit more. I think it was safe. It was definitely safe, and you could have went a little bit more harder for me. Mr. Eric.
So for Mr. Rudy Bradley, originality I gave a 4. Wittiness I gave a 4. Relatability I gave a 5. Lurkability I gave a 4. Substance I gave a 5 for a total score of 22. The reason why I scored it the way that I did is because I did, to some degree, feel like he was playing it safe, but what he did is with this title of the poem, it from start to finish, he navigated us to where he was headed. So it was a journey, and with that journey, I felt like for a lot of people, it is relatable, and there is some substance there. I just felt like he could have done a whole lot more with that. So that's what I have.
Miss Tiffany.
All right, from Rudy. Originality, I gave a 3. Wittiness, I gave a 3. Relatability, I gave a 3. Uh, Lyrical ability, I gave a 4. And substance, I gave a 5 with a total score of 15. With Rudy, I do feel like, I guess with him, I could, tell that yes, he's been hurt, but like you said, he played it safe. I understand, you know, with men, we really, you guys feel like you really can't express and say how much something has hurt you. I know mentally you guys are probably taught, boys don't cry. You're not supposed to really show that side. I just felt like I really wanted you to mentally get naked with me in this poem. So I felt like, yeah, you kind of undressed a little bit, but baby, you're not naked. Like, I want to feel that hurt. I want to feel that pain. I want to damn near cry. Like, damn, who the fuck put this person through this, and where can I find them and why? So do not be afraid to let people see you completely naked.
All right. So for Miss Foodie Batty, Mr. Rudy, your scores were: originality was a 5, your wittiness was a 2, your relatability was a 1, your lyrical ability was a 4, your substance was a 3. Total score was a 15. I'm sure this is relatable for someone, but I had a big disconnect on relating. I did find he had really good wordplay, and I do like the storyline. But a really big part of poetry for me is being able to feel what the poet is feeling. So again, she backdoored Miss Tiffany, and basically, you heard her words. So, Mr. Rudy, total scores from all 4 judges was a 66. Our next poet up is our reigning champ. Our reigning champ. Here you go, Mr. Phineas, the human. My scores for Mr. Phineas are as follows. Your originality was a 4. Your wittiness was a 4. Your relatability was a 3. Your lyrical ability was a 4. Your substance was a 3. Total score for me was an 18. Um, I got a back door off of Miss Tiffany. Like you gave me a bit of it, but you cut it was short. It was cut short. I wanted a little bit more. I always tell Finn that. I always tell him I feel like your poems are too short for me, and I want a little bit more. He always kind of leave you on a cliffhanger. Like, damn, where we going from here? Like, you got me up here and you just left me. So for me, that's why I scored what I scored. But I know it was definitely hits and definitely bangers. But again, for you being my Finn and a human, like I needed more. I was lacking something. Mr. Eric?
Oh man, this one right here. Thin the Human. Originality 5, wittiness 5, relatability 5, lurkability 5, substance 5, for a total score
Sorry.
of a 25. And let me tell you something. This poem here. It was short, but there was a lot going on.
Facts.
And he made it short on purpose.
Mm.
And I'm explaining why. And I don't know him that well, but from
Mm.
what I heard on the last live, what he's able to do off the top of his mind, off the top of his brain, what he's able to write in less than 20 minutes, he put this together to send a message to the
Mm.
rest of the contestants
Mm.
that he doesn't need a whole lot of words to drop some bangers.
Talk to him nice.
Okay, okay.
Sorry.
He had triple entendres in here.
Oh yeah, oh
Hey,
And
yeah.
if you not paying attention to what this man is saying and giving him his props, you will miss it. You will miss what he's doing here. And he put together something that was powerful. There was a theme
Mm.
that there was an overall theme, and then there were three other themes that he was
man.
reaching out to as we
Mm.
navigated through the poem. And then he brought it all together, and then purposely left people on like, okay, we wanted more. He said, I
Mm.
know, and you're gonna get this work. That
Yes,
was the message.
bro.
Talk
I'm
to
about sick of you.
him.
I'm sick of you, Eric. I'm just
Talk
sick of
to
you.
him.
Woo!
Sick of you. All right, all right. Are you just gonna leave it like that? You gonna leave it on the clip too? Just leave it on the
Yeah.
clip. Just don't say nothing else. Miss Tiffany, we're just gonna let him just stay on the clip back there.
Yes.
Talk to him nice.
Miss Tiffany,
Oh,
what's your scores for Thin the Human?
give me a minute.
Okay, she on it. She on the clip too. Come on.
Okay, because we got to keep it going. Okay, for Finn the Human. Now, y'all, I never met this man a day in my life, but I feel like I know him. So originality, I gave a 4. Wittiness, I gave a 4. Relatability, I gave a 3. Lyrical ability, I gave a 5. And substance, I gave a 4 with a total score of 20. And baby, let me tell you something. I know we got to keep it short, but Finn is definitely that man that said, baby, it ain't going to take me long to get you where you need to be. I don't need all that time. He gave me a lot in that short period of time. It was like, baby, you ain't even got to keep going. I'm already there. He definitely changed my mindset when it came to men and how they process love and hurt. And this poem was a perfect example to let me know, no, baby, men, when we love just as hard, and it's gonna hurt just as hard. We might be better at disguising our pain, but we feel it just like y'all do. And this poem was that perfect example. And he did leave us on that cliffhanger, but I'm not afraid at all that he gonna fall off. He not. He loves to keep you hungry and loves to keep you ready. And I salute that in the utmost highest. Oh,
Yeah, she on the clip too. I'm gonna keep it moving. Just leave y'all on the clip.
okay.
Y'all on the clip.
Hey, fire.
So for Miss Foodie Batty, your scores, Finn or originality was a 5. Your wittiness was a 4. Relatability was a 1. Your lyric ability was a 5. Your substance was a 3. Your total score, why are you in my paper? Oh, okay, you stay over there. You can hear it like they hear. The total score for you is 18. She said, I loved how he showed his vast vocabulary, how vast his vocabulary is, and really building a good poetry. But altogether, a good poetry. But altogether, at the end of the poem was a little disconnected. So for her, that's what she stated for her. And Finn, your total scores from all 4 judges was an 81. All right.
Let's go.
So for our final poem in, this lady dropped her poem very, very late, but very well worth it. I enjoyed it. So up was Miss Black Jane. So scores for her was originality was a 4. Her wittiness was a 4. Her relatability was a 4. Her lyric ability was a 4 for me, and her substance was a 4. Total score for me was a 19. Like I did say that I enjoyed this poem. I could relate very well. I definitely felt it. Each of her lines, it flowed very well. She took me on a ride. I definitely was on a ride with her. I could feel it. I went on a journey. I like Tiffany been saying, she put her draws down on this one to me and just exposed herself. And I really thank you for that. And I enjoyed it. I'm not gonna lie. For me, Mr. Eric.
So for Black Jane, for originality, I gave a 4. For wittiness, I gave a 5. For relatability, I gave a 5. For lyrical ability, I gave a 4. For substance, I gave a 5 for a total score of 23. And this
Right.
poem here, she bust through the door
Yeah.
with those first two lines.
Mm.
Yeah, letting y'all
She
know
did.
exactly what was going on and called them out by name. I was like, okay, this is what we're doing today. All right, let's
Yeah,
go. And she did.
yeah,
She took us on a journey of where she was headed, and I felt like we made it to our destination when we got to
Yeah.
the end. And I felt like her score that I gave her was extremely justified. I actually went back and forth on the originality, so it should probably be a 5, but I gave her a 4.
Yeah. Miss Tiffany.
All right. For Miss Jane, I gave originality a 4, a wittiness a 4, relatability a 4, lyrical ability I gave a 4, and substance I gave a 3 with a total score of 19.
mm,
And TK, I might need your help on this one. Correct me if I'm wrong. Black Jane was in the last tournament of Poetry Life,
oh
correct?
no, she wasn't. This is her first time.
This is her first time. Okay, because the
Mm-hmm.
name sounded familiar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I gotta comment like how Eric did. She called this person out
Mm.
and ate this person to filth. You could tell she had no issue saying, no, it was you. You did this to me.
Mm-hmm.
And she got naked and showed the scars, like, and this is my result. And that takes a lot to do, y'all. That
Mhm.
to openly say that I've been hurt by this person and to show the battle scars afterwards, that takes a lot of guts. So I gave her a total score of 19. You coming, baby, but I need you to keep running.
Yeah, definitely. So Miss Foodie Betty, her originality, she gave you a 5. For her wittiness, she gave you a 3. For relatability, she gave you a 4. For lyric ability, she gave you a 3. For substance, she gave you a 5. For your total score from her was a 20. She said it was a really good writer, but this is long. She said the first part of the poem was more about lust, and I think that it would have been a great title separate from the poem.
Mm.
So she said it was definitely a great read for her. Um, okay, that was it. So Miss Jane, Black Jane, your total scores from all 4 judges was an 81.
Mm.
All right.
Okay.
So
So we are here.
those are the results for all 10 poets.
Mm.
So our number one poet is Miss Exclusive with a total score of 91.
Let's go. Shut up. Hey, I ain't got no sound effects, but you
Not
know.
tonight, not tonight. We took him for
But
tonight.
shout out to Exclusive with the highest score, 94 in the building. We here. Yes, we here.
So our next poet in line will be Miss Nikki Royale with a total
Mm.
score of 89.
Mm. 89.
Our next poet, Miss Dawn, with a total score of 85.
Shout out to Don.
We're tied for this place. The human Finn the Human and Miss Black Jane with 81.
Mm.
Next in line from them is Miss Zoe with a total score of 70. Then comes in line with Mr. Rudy with a total score of 66.
Mm.
Miss Heidi follows with a total score of 63. And then our poet follows of a poet of Scar and Yolanda. A poet of Scar with 61. And Yolanda Nicole with a total score of 51. Unfortunately, guys, we enjoyed it. We enjoyed you guys, but 2 people do have to leave us in this journey. And unfortunately, our 2 were a Porter Scar and Miss Yolanda Nicole. Any words, judges?
If I can go first, um,
Go ahead.
to these lovely ladies, it was a great read, but we need a little work. Um, do not let this discourage you. I want y'all to continue to write. Um, there are some competitions and just in life in general that you got to dust yourself off and you got to try again. So please take what we have given you guys and try again next year. I really do want to see the 2 of y'all next year because growth is a MF,
Mm.
and
Yep.
we want to see that grow. Um, but I can't wait for this next round.
Me neither. Mr. Eric, what you got to say up there?
Yeah. So with these two poets, sometimes it comes down to us making sure we select the right poem. It's like a singing competition where you could be an awesome singer, but you just chose the wrong song. And you have to choose the right song that fits you, choose the right poem that fits you and the situation. And the situation required for people that don't know you to read your poem and try to figure out exactly where you are, where you're taking us, and where we end up. And sometimes people get lost in the fray when your poems don't quite meet the expectation that we're looking for, so that we can gather your story and put that together. You got to paint a picture for us. So, with the poems that you did submit, they're good poems. So I want to encourage the both of you to keep doing what you're doing. Keep going after your art. Keep at it with your pen. Don't let this competition pull you down. Let it encourage you and inspire you to come back next year and really give it a go. So, with that said, I wish you all, the both of you, very well in your journey towards poetry and your art and the way that you express yourself through words. But that's what I have.
We lost your sound.
Yeah,
Can
we
you hear
lost your
that?
sound.
Yeah, we lost your
No, I
sound.
can't. I can't hear them.
Can you hear yours?
Yes, yes, we can hear you now.
So, I always call my reverend up there, Deacon Eric. Eric, that's my reverend. He always got something great to say, and definitely lead with those words that he leaves y'all with. Because I mean, he's always awesome with it. But the man that was in the background, I am gonna let him like chime in and see. I mean, definitely with his poets. For me, before he chimes in, y'all did great. I mean, for me to be the first judges for the first time, again, I'm a makeup artist. I deal with words. I deal with English majors. I'm a business side. So for me to come in this and to read this and to feel this and to step in y'all shoes, you guys did awesome. Again, like they said, this ain't stopping anything. There is more to come. Poetry Life always offering some. Y'all get up on that stage, show your art always, because we want to hear it and grow. Y'all did amazing. So keep pushing. What do you have to say, Mr. TK?
Yolanda, Nicole, who is called, wonderful words. Just like, every sometimes, you get to understand for one round. But it's okay. Though. You push through and fight through it. Because my first poetry slam, they gave me, the dude gave me three in one, in my first round. And at first, I didn't understand why I had got a three. But, hold on for a second. Back on. But I had to really understand why I had got a three because my delivery wasn't right. I kept on stumbling over my words. I wasn't clear. And at that point, I'm like, man, I know this poem was banging. So, I got kind of upset. I'm like, man, I don't know if I want to do this poetry because, he didn't gave me a three, but I just took that as motivation. I want to come back and give you something that you like, oh, I have to give him a 10 on this one. So, take this as motivation, work on your penmanship, make sure, just continue to write because your brain is a muscle at the end of the day. Continue to write and write some more. Then come back next year, look, I want the belt or I want the trophy, either or. Have that to fuel your fire. No, it's just this one round. Next year, just come back harder. And I can't wait until the second round.
All right.
Like the second round, we down to 8.
Okay. With that being said, guys, for our second round, I decided to throw something out here a little different because my judges love y'all dearly. They're busy people. They're these most famous judges I've ever met. But with that being said, I'm throwing y'all for a loop. What we're going to do in this second round is we're going to give y'all 4 topics. Each judge is going to give you a topic, and you have a choice to master your poem or whatever your submission is from one of those, but you have to only choose from one of those. So, Mr. Eric, you've already told me what you want it to be, but go ahead and tell the people what you want to hear.
So the topic that I have for y'all this week is poetic justice. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm one that you got to go do your homework. And if you don't know what poetic justice is, then it's time for you to put some work in this week.
Okay. Miss Tiffany, you got yours? You ready?
Yes.
Okay.
This one's going to be a little scary, but my topic, I call it Depression Hurts.
Hey.
I really want to hear a time that you were at your lowest. Because, baby, let me tell you something. This recession, poverty, it's an MF. So I want to hear a poem where you literally hit rock bottom. And what did you do to climb back up?
All right.
Hold on for a second. Let the record reflect. MF stand for motherfucker. Just in case nobody calls you know. Just to let y'all know what that those symbols stand for. But back to the program.
I mean, I hope we know at this point. Okay, so Miss Foodie Batty did not have the chance to send in, but Mr. TK decided to drop his thing that he would like to hear, and for him, he stated vengeance. You want to elaborate on that?
Vengeance. I want to hear something gritty. You know, I want to hear someone that wronged you, and you know, what was your thoughts of getting back at that point? What is your vengeance like? I want something deep and dark. Talk to him nice.
Okay. So for me, I think I'm just gonna go left on you guys. I want to address, for me, my topic is social happiness. What is social happiness? So like Eric said, you're gonna have to do your research. You're gonna do some homework. You're gonna have to really think, because you can go different angles, you can go different plays for me with that. Let's see how creative you actually gonna get if you decide that. I'm definitely looking for y'all to be creative on that, because you know the way the world works, what is happiness? It's all in the eyes of who. I mean, it's who. So anything that the judges want to say or want to get out here before this next round begins, words of encouragement. I mean, anything that's on you guys' mind before we wrap it on up.
Yeah. Y'all better do your homework this week, because we're taking it up a notch. I'm taking it up a notch for sure on my expectation of what I'm seeing in these poems. You better put some work in these poems this week. So talk about the entendres, the wordplay, the journey, painting a picture for us to be able to identify exactly what you're talking about. Y'all got to come with it. So that's what I got.
Okay, so I want to give a special shout out to the people that's going to the next round.
You all up in my paper. See, this is not your job today.
Hey,
but it's not your job.
I got
Bring your own notes.
Exclusive. Going to the next round. Nikki Royale is going to the next round. The Don is going to the next round. Zoe Zion is going to the next round. Rudy is going to the next round. Ben the Human is going to the next round. Black Jade is going to the next round. And Heidi. Shout out to Heidi. She's going to the next round, man. Hey, y'all better get ready, because the next round it gets a lot tougher. It gets a lot tougher. Bring your best game. Bring your A game. Don't bring your B game, your C game. Bring your A game, because you don't know what none of these poets are cool with. So make sure you put in that work, put in that energy, put in that desire, that fire, all that. We want to hear everything that you have to say in these poems. Beautiful Nana.
You swear I had that on that piece of paper, y'all. It ain't no but numbers on her. He read that like I had a whole paragraph. I had to look at him twice. My bad. He threw me out. But with that, with that being said, like I'm like them. I want y'all to come with it because like y'all did great. So I expect nothing but better. Honestly, y'all can't do nothing but get better and better with this. I expect the fire. I'm excited to keep going and to see what y'all have. I can't wait. So I mean, that's all I gotta say with it. I know it's Sunday and we all gotta get to work. I appreciate all y'all for taking the time out to be here tonight, to sit here and to listen to us, just for the energy to support all this. We can't express our thanks enough to you guys for this. What you guys say?
And again, we here. Second round of tournament starts next week. Tune in. Oh, this week, hey, y'all have to tune in too because I'm gonna be going live with some of the poets throughout this week to see what they thought about the first round and what they expecting for the second round. Hey, stay tuned. We got more content to share with y'all. It ain't over.
Well, let me say my line. Look, I didn't get to say it, and he always cut me off since he got this little funky quote. Until next time, guys, be beautiful, be you, beautifully. Nah, it's cheesy, ain't it? No, I'll play by. Love y'all.
Shout out to the judges. Shout out to y'all. We out here.
Bye, guys. I'm like, that was awesome, fool. I mean, I'm a little thrown though. I was shocked. These. I'm excited.
I'm trying to string it out. Here we
go. Look here. You did good when I had to write you my note. Oh.